Staring contest. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go. Staring contest.
Oh, staring contest. Oh, okay. I'll win. I played video games.
Have I blinked? I can't tell if I blinked.
I don't know. Has she blinked?
No.
Okay, there I did.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to get out of it.
I really don't think you blinked. So.
Okay, yeah. I was scared I didn't, and then I was worried about not blinking. Okay. Welcome to What It's Like podcast. My name is Cailey Ashlyn. We got Ben, Big Daddy.
I thought we just landed on Ben.
Ben, Big Daddy birthday.
There we go. That's good enough.
Yeah. So I've known Ben for, I don't know, too long. 12? Mm-hmm. 12 years. We are one day apart in age. So his birthday is tomorrow, November 8th. Mm-hmm. And my birthday is the next day, November 9th. So I got you a little birthday present. But if you... Okay, but if I give it to you, you have to wear it.
Right now?
Yeah.
All right. What is it?
I got a little bag of goodies.
Is it a wig?
I wish.
Is there candy in there? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah,
I really wanted to get birthday hats because that's really all I want for my birthday. And I went to 4 different stores, and that was the closest thing I could find to a birthday hat. And I bought 2.
This is pretty far from a birthday hat. It's not even a hat.
I bought 2, and the second one broke. But maybe I was thinking maybe I could do something here with it.
Yeah.
Today.
Totally.
I also I got you this. It's a piñata. Yeah, it's a llama piñata.
Yeah.
Well, for the listeners.
Right.
It's a llama piñata. It has nothing in it. I just thought you want to hang out with him.
You're right. You were right about
that. Okay. Maybe we can put stuff in him later.
Okay. Sounds good. I can't fucking wait to put stuff in that piñata. Shit out of that piñata.
And then I got some of these because...
Oh, good.
I mean, just in case like something in the conversation happens. I got an HEB actually. Shout out HEB.
Is it supposed to whistle?
Yeah, you have to do it really hard.
Okay, I did it.
That's
right? Yeah, kind of.
No, yeah. I had this whole thing happen to me earlier where I was like, this one's not working.
You just weren't blowing hard enough?
So just in case, like any point in the conversation, we need to have a whistle.
We have one.
We got one. And yeah, that's about it. That's about all I got. I got a couple extras.
That's not very many things.
Well,
you just got a lot of the whistles.
Enough for a birthday party at a podcast.
That's true.
I think
you nailed it.
Have you ever seen Josh? Have you ever seen anybody bring this much for a birthday party at a podcast? I don't think so. That wasn't even any of their birthdays. But our birthday's like all week, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. Well, mine started today for sure.
November for sure.
I think I at least do like for sure like the 7th through the 11th. Like solidly. Like sure, yeah. Every single one of those days I say it's my birthday.
The day before people need, and they don't always, which validates everything that I think about myself, which is great.
Wait, what is
they don't hit me up the day before. I need you to start treating me immediately like it's my birthday.
Oh yeah, like oh my God, your birthday's coming up.
And nobody's reached out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Some people have said a couple things about my birthday.
That's good.
And that's nice. It's probably like in correlation with the fact that my stepdad just died. But they're like, oh my God, it's your birthday? Oh my God, that's right, your birthday's coming up. No, it's me bringing it up. And then they're like, oh. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Your stepdad died. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. That sucks. But okay, how do you feel about birthdays? Like, I know how
I will always tell everyone that I don't give a shit about birthdays, but I will always pout on my birthday if nobody does anything.
Yeah.
But I will never plan it myself.
Never.
In high school,
That's
I didn't
embarrassing.
have a problem. Right. Oh my God. And it would go against me not giving a shit about my birthday.
Yeah. Then they'll all know.
I can just bring it up in therapy later, get manic about it. But
set this expectation for my friends that is unrealistic and I'm not going to communicate it. And then be pissed off when it doesn't happen.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing to do, honestly.
Talk to them again.
Yeah, fuck them. They don't deserve me. I would do something for their birthday.
Yeah.
Probably.
Which is probably why we do go so hard for other people. It's just, you better do it for me.
Yeah, I do.
I know you won't because I'm setting unreasonable
I
expectations.
am.
Totally.
Dude, for Eric's birthday, I rented a boat.
Yep.
I ordered food and had it all delivered to this house where I had fed 30 people. And then I had the cake done at his favorite bar. And I brought decorations and set it all up.
Yeah, and you're just like,
and I was like,
top this
yeah, you'll never, you're lucky. You're lucky to know me.
can't wait for you to throw me a subpar birthday.
Yeah. Can't wait for you to take me to some place that has too long of a wait, so we have to go to some place I recommend.
And then I planned my own birthday and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
I'm running away.
Yeah. Bye. No, I feel like I've gotten more aware of that though as I've gotten older. For sure. Because I do, but I feel like it's good to come from that place, instead of being I did this for you, you should do it for me. I'm trying to just come out of genuine love.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll play it through and I'll be like, why do I want to do this for this person? I'm like, because I love them and they're awesome and I want them to know how awesome they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I do.
Right.
But I feel like other people do it in different ways. You just gotta
I choose not to see it. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I set it up so that people will fail at loving me. It's that I choose not to see the ways they choose to love me because it's not correct.
Yeah.
Or it's not the right way for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it'll never be correct because whatever the correct way that I'm looking for, it's my shit.
Yeah.
It's how I need to love myself, right? Those are the the gaps is where I need to love myself, is where other people aren't doing it,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, not even if that's what you want. Also, I feel like also learning to communicate that instead of just I feel like I've had this silent expectation.
Oh, but then it's just because you told them.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, but it's not.
It has to be their
but
idea.
that's love. I know, right?
No,
I get it. But that's love
but
too.
That's not realistic.
It's not realistic, and people show love in different ways. And so, one, looking for the ways that they do it, and two, being like, hey, you said this compliment like this, but I receive it better like this. I mean, it sounds fucking gay, but
totally it does. But it's that is otherwise you're doomed. Otherwise, right?
Yeah. Otherwise,
you are doomed to
you're
be
just gonna build
a
up
victim
resentment.
Exactly. Yeah. And then which. But it is just why can't you just do it right?
Yeah.
Why do I have to teach you?
Teach you how to love me. Well, I don't know, but it's also I feel okay, we're people. I've known you a long time. I know your family.
People.
We are people. We're two human beings. You and I, male, female.
That's a lot of things. A lot of we know
humans.
Oh, for the listeners, right? We have to explain those things.
Yeah. They might think we're aliens, so I got to make sure they know. Human, female. Here. Goofball.
Right.
I don't know. I might be an alien, but anyway, that's a different topic for another time. What? And now I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying that
ADD.
we're both human beings.
We are both human beings.
And then more obvious things.
Yeah. Okay. We're both people that have had we didn't get what we needed in our childhood.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had this discussion a lot, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't get what we needed, and maybe we need a lot because it's intense. I feel like you were born the day before me. I mean, whatever you can get in astrology, whatever about it. But we do have a similarity that I don't have with anybody else.
Sure. There's totally regardless of anything, there's like a serendipity to that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just like being one day apart. It was like how we met and how we continued to have a relationship despite like not really doing much to maintain it.
Yeah.
At times, at least.
Yeah.
Right? And then huge efforts on both sides to repair.
Yeah.
When it was not great.
Right.
Over like I said. Yeah,
right. And both having faults and both not loving the way that we need it. Even though we're very similar in the way we need it.
Loving you, having a relationship with you at times has been a trudge. Right?
A trudge.
And it's not happy destiny at the end of the fucking
I was
trudge.
thinking about this earlier. Like, I feel like friendship-wise, you are like the most emotionally complicated relationship I have.
Totally.
Like, I feel like non-romantic wise.
Yeah, it's something I've not been willing really to touch in therapy. Like,
what, me?
Yeah.
You won't talk about me in therapy?
No, it's not that I avoid talking about you in therapy. It's just, it's like, yeah, I'm never going to fucking try to mess with whatever the fuck that relationship is. It just like has to be what it is.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point in trying to like.
Oh, like figure out why.
Well, try to identify a role, right?
Yeah.
Because it changes all the time. It's always changed. Over 12 years, it's changed massively in different ways. Like, and I guess it has to in a certain way, but it's, like you said, emotionally complicated the whole time. There's a lot of like, you know, I think about like, I've always had complicated emotional relationships with women, like especially like older women, like, you know, Sasha and just people like that, you know, people in positions like, because of mom shit, I guess, right? But it's always because I put them in different roles and sometimes they allow that, right? But with you, it's just like how our relationship has kind of evolved and just our own personal ups and downs. Because we've also been friends throughout like, not just a long time, 12 years, but also like a fucked up 12 years, like a stupid ass 12 years where we were like, whether we were in a cult or not is like up for debate, but like we were hanging out with cults, you know? And it's like, that's just scratching the surface of like all, you know, that doesn't even get into like specifics of like what was going on with me when I was 17, 21, 25.
I mean, I kind of talk about this in the last episode I did with Sasha, who was the director of the high school we went to. And so went to a sober high school. It was, you know, as a teenager, it's weird, you know.
Yeah, it's so
it's weird. And there's like a lot of different layers to it. There's so many, like there's good and bad that came from it, right? I think I've learned to live with the good and try to let go of the bad. And just be grateful for the good and be grateful for who I am today. Because I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't experienced all of that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be sitting here talking on this podcast about my feelings and trauma and emotions if I had not done that as a teenager. I don't know that.
Fuck no. I don't know where the fuck. I mean, it's like I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's like, it does feel weird to say that it was damaging, right?
Right.
Because I wouldn't, I mean, obviously, because it's scary to think of like the unknown of going a different direction. But like, yeah, I mean, I dig what I've got. And I don't want, like the people that were around me is my best guess, right? At what my life would have been like. And I don't like where they are. I mean, it's not attractive to me, you know? Just the lack of these conversations and conversations that I've been able to have since I was like 16 years old.
Right. You know? Like realizations, like deep fucking, I mean, some of it was fucked up to talk about. Like as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, like we shouldn't have been really.
Yeah, like as a 16-year-old, you should not be telling like other kids you're like extreme sexual trauma. Right. And that's like what the culture was.
Right. If you weren't doing that, you were a failure.
Yeah.
Like failing, right? You weren't doing it correctly.
Yeah.
You were gonna relapse.
Yeah.
If
relapse is to die.
Right. If I didn't tell, and obviously we saw that manifest in like a lot of bullshit, right? And a lot of kids making up trauma.
Yeah.
And
yeah, people would literally make up trauma to fit in.
Right. And other kids judging other kids made up trauma.
That was even not made up. Or
not made up. We just thought it was because that kid's annoying, right? Because we're 15, 16-year-olds. At the end of the day, like regardless of the type of work you have us doing in this recovery program, we're 16 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Chill. Chill. Yeah. No, it was intense.
I agree with you, though. I think there was a lot of good.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, and I feel like my life was
too.
so intense. Like my life got so intense so much that like I needed that. Like I needed that support and like, I feel like that was like one of the best parts of that is the community we had. Mm-hmm. And so many people, you build a community, and obviously it's high school and people are assholes to some people, but it's like you get these friends when you're 16 years old that become these like no matter what friends. They become family. And like for people that didn't have that with their family, and then you could walk into a room and be around people your age that were like, hey, no matter what you need, I got you.
Right.
And like how fucking safe that felt and like
how safe that felt.
Safe. Yeah. And like how I had not felt safety in my life up until that point. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know what it felt like.
Right.
I mean, maybe like for like a little, like I remember being scared and going to my mom's room and then, and like sometimes she would, be like, okay. And then sometimes she'd be like, get out of my bed, you know, because she's got like 4 kids and she's tired and I'm crawling in her bed every night.
Right.
Because I'm scared. So, but it was like the first no matter what thing I had gotten from anybody but family. And the family felt conditional.
Totally.
It felt like
100%. I mean, I came in, right? I mean, the start of our entire relationship was you and Chris, your brother, coming up to me after my first meeting. And I had cried, I think, in that meeting maybe about my mom leaving or saying she was leaving or something. And, you guys came up to me and talked to me after that, and it was like, teenagers don't talk to each other.
Yeah,
like this,
because our parents had just gone through a divorce, and I was like, hey, if you need anything, I'm here. But that was like what I got brought into.
Right.
Which is like really amazing. I mean, that's definitely learning how to cultivate a community like that. I feel like I have brought that with me, Mm-hmm. And I mean, I feel like when you are genuine, it attracts genuine people.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I think our relationship, because I think we're very similar, but we're also very different, mm-hmm. and male and female. Mm-hmm. So we have our own perspectives and experiences of our lives, and we're like, why? We feel this way. We're like, these are the things I need, and this is how I need it. Mm-hmm. And we're thinking about that from our own perspective, and giving each other those things. Mm-hmm. But it's like it could be a little different,
right?
And I think we just slightly miss each other. Like I think any mm-hmm. issue we've had, we're just slightly. It's like it comes from
one page behind or one page ahead or. Yeah, something like that. It's like slipping. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, and that's, I mean, my, kind of mental health, my whatever, like chemical concoction that's going on up there that's kind of like the nature of it often with anyone, right? Any connection that I have with anyone is like, kind of like pretty consistently feels like a desperate plea to be understood. Mm-hmm. And it will never happen.
Wait, you still feel like that all the
with
time?
Most people that I care about that relationship. With you, though, it's like, I think you feel similarly. Like, the connection like has to feel safe. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, as long as that feels okay, it's okay. But there are times where one or both of us feels like that's being threatened. And honestly, neither one of us wants to cave. Mm-hmm. And like
we're both so stubborn
and bid for connection again, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, and that's like not a term that I've used a lot, but like, yeah, it's like it takes a lot of humility to like do that, and it's like there's so much shit.
We've humbled each other a lot.
Oh, totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it takes so much for me to admit that I'm in my fucking ego or whatever. I mean, I think it's like...
It takes so much for me to lose my shit, and I have lost my shit on you.
Right.
I have lost my shit on you.
Well, and I was thinking about, Right. Yeah, you have.
You have lost your shit on me too.
That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about, there was one time at Whataburger where I just was I wasn't having it. And, but it goes back to what you were saying about.
That you went off on me?
I didn't really go off. I was just being.
Oh, you're just being
pouty,
just
fussy,
fucking
just fussy.
Stubborn, fussy.
Yeah.
I think I was too. I was like, I'm not eating.
Probably.
I'm not.
But
I'm mad. I'm not eating.
It goes back to what you said about the no matter what thing. It's like, it's allowed me, and this is something that I'm kind of learning in my romantic relationship today, kind of independently, but similar, like just in how it kind of works, I guess, is like because I know that no matter what I throw at you, I'm sure there's an exception there. There's a line somewhere, but like a reasonable, whatever, no matter what I throw at you, and vice versa, obviously, because you've thrown things.
Yeah.
And fists.
I have physically thrown things, yeah.
And
I don't do that. I don't do that. I was in a relationship with a man for 6 years and I never.
Well, I've never gotten in someone's face. Yeah. Especially a partner, the way I get in your face, right? And it's like, it's because I know no matter what, right? Like, I know that, like, no matter how messy this gets, like, she's got my back. Like, we'll be able to clean
her, I'm
this.
Gonna yell at her.
Well, you did the same thing, right?
I know, but I didn't feel like that in the moment. I felt
it totally
so
doesn't
righteous.
feel like that.
I felt like so.
It doesn't feel like it.
I feel like.
But that's why we do it.
Do you think that there's maybe a part of us that like is there to heal each other's like abandonment?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's like, it's not that we consciously know I can treat her like shit because she'll be there. It's because but I do know that somewhere. My relationship with you is probably built into that because you grabbed me when I was lost, I mean, a lot of people tried to, but like you never like let me go, right? There were many times, like I often think about when you hit me up, when I was with my last, in my last relationship, and I mean, you were not like happy. It wasn't like you were stoked to be hitting me up and saying the things that you were upset. You were hurt. But it's like other people just let me go.
Love.
And
that's
other
love.
people just let me go, right?
But I think that's it because I know where you've come from.
And where would I have been had you not done that
and you're me. Like, you're just me.
Right,
like you
right.
And whatever, I mean, we have our differences, but like I know the mistakes you've made, I've made them too. Like in our lives and with each other. And like 100%. And it's wild. I'll be going through something and I'll call you and you'll be like the only person I tell. I'm like, I just have to tell Ben. I can't tell anybody else about
and then
this.
I'm actively doing that.
I'm actively participating
or
in the thing you're doing that's bad.
Let's talk about it. Let's shame spiral.
And it's like, holy fuck. Okay, now I have someone to talk to and just like not to judge me, just to let me have my own human experience.
Again, we're here to heal, like here for each other to heal, right? It's like if I didn't have you, right, I wouldn't have the ability to heal certain aspects of me, right?
For sure. And just deep, dark aspects.
Hard shit.
Yeah.
Hard shit. And over a long period of time, right? So there's been like new things and old things and
things we've done to each other.
Exactly, right. Yeah, more direct. Yeah. And then and which creates these opportunities for growth because it's no matter what, And that's kind of like, I don't know, that's something that I think that I have had people in my life that were like, that served a purpose or whatever, like for that time. It's like you said, kind of how we grew up in that community and teaching us that it's critical, or at least we believe it is critical to our survival that we have people that are forever, no matter what. Like when I feel like I don't have that is when I start to tear things down and try to create crisis for myself so that I can feel self-sufficient,
right?
And the people, because they come, right? Then I get to ask for help, and I get to honestly be the hero of my own story because I tore everything fucking down, and now I get to survive, right? But now my people are back too, you know, in my head. They never left.
Yeah.
I just chose to stop seeing the ways they were trying to connect.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, this is something I'm sure I've said it out loud, but like not often is I have that thought at least once a day about at least one person. I wonder if I stopped texting them, if I would ever hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why? Why would you want to do that? Can you imagine if, oh, that's different.
Sorry, I was trying to be sly about it.
That wasn't sly. We're talking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you text a lot of people that you feel like a lot of the people you text, you think if you never texted them again?
I don't know if I genuinely believe any of it. I ask myself that all the time, though.
Do you think that about me?
I'm sure I have in the past, but not recently. No. No, probably not. Because I just said that probably a few minutes ago or something. Like,
Yeah.
I just said
I mean,
that
I might
like,
stop
you've
texting.
never left me alone.
Yeah.
For very long.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone a year.
Yeah.
Definitely not a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we go like this kind of. That's like a humping thing. Our genitals touch. I'm just kidding. That's a joke, people. It was just a weird hand movement I did. No, we get really close, like besties, and then we kind of do our own thing for a while. But it's kind of interesting how much we come back to each other, you know, and like how in the hardest times we always reach out to each other or
totally. Yeah.
always.
I know that. Yeah, I know you've got my back. You know? Like it's like,
yeah,
no matter how long it's been or whatever, like I do know, like it's a cute thing to say, like, you know, in 12-step meetings or Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever, it's like a cute thing to say. Like one of the sayings that I have said before, I'm sure, is, yeah, you know, it's nice to know that I got people that I could call at 4 a.m. and blah, 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 blah. And how many of those people actually would have done that is, I mean, it's minimal, right? It's such a small number. You are that person, you know? And like, honestly, like relationships that I feel like are too far away from that, they're pretty low on the priority list to maintain, you know? It's like.
Well, okay, so here's how I think I feel like since I was a kid, like I feel like as a kid, I felt like that person, like that no matter what person. Like I always felt empathetic and caring and like I would do anything for the people that I cared about. And then I feel like I learned very like brutally that that's not the case for everyone that I care about. Yeah. And then we find this program and it's like people that say that and, you know, maybe some do it. And then we find each other and it's like, oh my God, you get it. You do it. You have felt it forever and you've never gotten it. And here it is.
Right.
All of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a lot. You can't give your friend the childhood they deserved.
Yeah,
you know,
and that sucks.
But you can help them heal from it.
I mean, we tried our hardest, like we did, and we continue to do so.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, I spend most of my time trying to be a little kid.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
That's because of my relationships with you and people at that time. Some of them, you know. But
I was thinking about this question. What do you have like a favorite memory from like high school or like I don't know any of that time?
Like
Archway
times,
and any of that, like anything silly. I don't know. I know I'm putting
Actually,
you on the spot.
Yes.
Or I have the chocolate story.
So is my first the chocolate story? You've told that?
No, I said I have it in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one, and it involves most of a lot of people that we know. But fuck, I hate that story so much. It's so embarrassing.
Okay, tell the other one.
I mean, yeah.
I'll tell it after.
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about, you know, because my first retreat, my first camp out or whatever, it's so generous calling it that. It was at like not Scorpionville, but whatever, the state park that we went to.
Martin Dies,
yes. And I remember,
someone killed a rabbit. Courtney killed a rabbit,
Yeah.
and then we called the rabbit Martin. We're like, "You killed Martin!"
Yeah, yep.
He died.
And I remember we were all sitting around trying to light our farts on fire, right?
Yeah.
Including Courtney and Adrian, our staff members.
Here's what happened.
They were asleep.
No, okay.
Tell the story.
Okay, yeah. We were sitting in a circle lighting our farts on fire, as teenagers do, with a lighter.
Just the teenagers, right?
Yeah. And then Adrian comes up, who is a staff member at this time. So he's like in his early 20s, but we're all teenagers, but he's in charge of us. And it's an overnight thing. But it's co-ed, so the staff have to stay up all night. And he comes over there, he goes, "Hey, give me that lighter." And then he grabs the lighter and then he fucking rolls back and lights his fart on fire.
Yep. And did it. Like first try.
There's a first try, like just, fucking.
It was beautiful. And then we just kept doing it for a while. And he participated and Courtney was so tired. She was just sleeping in the corner. It was incredible. That story, yeah. I mean.
That was the best. That was
there's
a great
so many
moment.
Stories just like that, I guess. Yeah, there's just a lot of stories.
Just
there's the chocolate story. Yeah, like, so we were.
I don't know why it all has to do with fart and poops, but.
Well. Freud does. Freud knows why. So. It was Halloween. 2013, and we.
2013?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, makes sense, yeah.
We went to, I don't know, it was Nicole, right? It was
Nicole's house.
Her house, yeah, and out somewhere. There was just a band. What we were told was that it was an abandoned, like, Boy Scout retreat center or something. And it was like just a bunch of buildings, kind of looked like that. There was pools that were emptied and disgusting, and it was super overgrown.
It was
obviously had been
creepy
used
as hell.
like
it was like all tagged up.
Yeah.
It was like a crack house.
Totally, yeah. I mean, yeah.
There was a name. There was a list of names, and some of them were crossed off.
Oh yeah, super.
It was a
like,
kill list, and then it was like some of the names were crossed off.
There's like a crawl space that said like he lives here, and like an arrow pointing at. It was amazing. But when we got back, it's 5 a.m. We got to leave for school in 30 minutes, and so we all were just talking and chatting, right?
Well, no, okay. It was like 4 or 5, but we had to leave.
Maybe in an hour or two.
Well, you went to sleep.
Well, that's what we were sitting chatting upstairs. There's like 10 of us.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep on the floor, just laying on my stomach. And I woke up because you guys woke me up and said, "It's time for school, Ben. We gotta go." And I felt like I'd been asleep for 7 minutes, maybe. Yeah. Like at the most.
I was so mad. I was just, grumpy morning Cailey. Mm-hmm. You know the one. You've seen her.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I was like, I was fuming. I was like, oh, gotta go to school. Fuck you.
Yeah. And I get up. I was very tired and not happy about being awake. And I went into the bathroom and I closed the door and everyone's just kind of like standing around, but I'm tired and I don't care. And I pulled my pants down to go pee. Not all the way because I don't wear a helmet.
No, you were going to go shower, I thought.
Oh, maybe I was going to go shower. So I'd take my clothes off probably or start to. And then when I pulled my pants down and looked into my underwear, it was covered in what I thought at the time was just shit. Just meaty shit. Just horrible shit. Oh, the worst shit ever. And it was just, it's lumpy and crunchy and just horrible. And I was immediately so embarrassed. I couldn't believe I had pooped my pants. And we have to go to school, I have no clothes. So I'm not going to tell my 9 friends, 7 of them are girls, and it's high school, that I just shit myself. So I take my underwear off and I wipe and wipe and wipe. And oh my God, it's endless. And then it didn't smell. I started to realize as I'm cleaning myself that it doesn't smell bad at all. And so I took a closer sniff, look.
Inspection.
Slowly. It's chocolate. That's chocolate. That's a Twix bar. That was a Twix bar. And so I came out. At some point though, I did come out and said,
it was like
I think
Snickers
I shit myself or something.
No, you were like, guys, who put chocolate in my butt?
Yeah, who put chocolate in my butt is what I said.
Which I was
so somebody had put a Twix bar, like a Twix mini.
No, it It was like a Snickers bar, because remember it had like the nuts and it was like all
yes, it had all the stuff in it, yeah.
But it had melted.
Oh my God. And it had melted in my
Wait, no, you looked in the mirror.
Crack.
Wait,
fuck you.
That is such a human thing to do, though.
But yes, I turned around and I spread my cheeks to look, and it was abhorrent. It was horrible. I didn't know it was chocolate yet.
It was not near your butthole, right?
Oh no, not even. No, it was all. So I still. Oh my God. I still at that time thought, oh my God, it just shot up. Right? You're not gonna think somebody put chocolate in your butt crack. You're just not. I promise you. I mean, you will now,
That's the
right?
best part of that.
But you're never going to think somebody put chocolate in your butt crack when you wake up and it's 5 a.m.
We were like deliriously tired and talking. It was like 3 of us up there, which is so funny because it was Ben's girlfriend at the time's ex-boyfriend. Me and
my
Nicole.
God, yes.
And then he had heard that.
Because my girlfriend Elise wasn't there.
Yeah.
But he was there.
And he had heard that
From
prank
her.
from her mom.
Her mom.
He was like, Elise's mom told me about
That's
this
something
prank
that
they
I
did on
probably intentionally
which
forgot.
Is amazing.
But
It's-
yeah.
Full circle.
That's insane, yeah. And then I remember feeling some type of way about that. I was like, okay, that's a power move, but whatever.
It was
totally a power move.
And it worked and it ruled. Respect. Respect, Greg.
For real.
No, that was cool. Yeah, we were just like deliriously tired and we were like getting sleepy and we were.
Oh, and
But
then
he had said that and we're like,
we went to school
and it was
the next
Halloween,
day,
so we had chocolate.
right? And we went to school the next day, and I was sent home. Not in a good way. I got in trouble. Tamer, or like whatever he was, recovery coach.
Yeah, he was a disciplinary staff at our high school,
like a counselor kind of.
Counselor
yeah, I mean,
slash
a bunch of jobs rolled into one, right?
Yeah, but also we didn't make fun of him for his hairline.
He's great though, and I got to school and he's like, he's a 5'8" Egyptian man, and he's
no less than that. He's shorter than me.
5'6". Well, how tall are you? 6'2"? Just for the listeners.
I'm
6'3".
8'3".
8'3", yeah.
And a half.
What are you, 5'5"?
I'm 5'4".
5'4". So yeah, I mean he's shorter than you.
Energy,
okay, so yeah, he's 5'2", 5'3", whatever. But short Egyptian guy, and then you got to put shoes on, man. Because I didn't have shoes on. My shoes were covered in dirt and mud, and they were wet and they were horrible, and they were Chuck Taylors. So they're
because we had walked in trenches to get to the Boy Scout camp.
And I didn't have another shoe, and I was just like, I'm not wearing shoes. I'm not putting them on. He's like, you have to, dude, or I'll have to send you home. And like, I'm not putting shoes on. And he's like, all right, call your dad. And I was like, give me the phone, because I think I had detention, so I'd already given him my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, what a time.
I think my dad had to drive like an hour and a half to come get me from that school because it was so far.
Because you wouldn't put your shoes
Because I wouldn't put shoes on.
They were all of our shoes were so muddy, dude.
I remember Elliot was like yelling at me, like, Ben, I'll give you some shoes. Shut the fuck up. But I was like, not.
You
done.
were so done.
Yeah.
You were how I was in the morning before. When you came out of the bathroom and started saying, you were like, guys, who put chocolate in my pants? And then you started to go in my butt. And then you're like, you started to go through your whole situation you had in there, right there. And I was just on the floor, like that. I think that is the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
Yeah.
Right there. Because of I was so pissed off right before to be alive. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just getting that was like a win. That was like a life win right there.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to have that.
I got to have Ben thought he shit himself for a little bit.
I'm glad. I'm
and then
for you.
figured out it was chocolate.
I could be your clown. Your dancing monkey.
You were the perfect one. It was always going to happen to you.
Yeah, it was. It had to. Who else could it have been?
There was no one else. Right. You are the poop chocolate butt person.
Poop chocolate butt boy.
Yeah. Well, I'll check in about life a little and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't talked in forever.
I know.
How are you feeling?
You
How do
didn't know
you
I was
feel?
moving until a day ago. But to be honest, I didn't know I was moving until
I
a
knew
few
it
days ago.
the minute you said you were going to Salem.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you were going to stay there for a month with your girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, that's not a stretch.
Somebody
right?
said, is he moving there? And I said, yes. No, It wasn't even just maybe. It was, yeah.
Like, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty sure.
100% moving there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty sure.
It's been
and
Erwin.
I wasn't.
He's got some girl giving him what he needs.
I wasn't hiding it either. But
you are not good at
I
hiding
wasn't.
it.
I was also not talking, or I was reducing that as much as I could. Right. I was trying to like manage
Why,
my own.
you're embarrassed?
I don't think I was embarrassed is the right word. I tend to do that though. Like anytime I've been.
Oh yeah.
I've
Like
been
how many
single or
first
whatever.
dates you've been
exactly.
on and you're like, I'm in
and
love.
I'm like, oh man, I'm in love. And it's like, it never. It felt important to not do that this time for some reason. I really like. I would love to be like, oh, it was love at first sight or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, maybe there was something that I wasn't consciously aware of that was like that, but it felt important. I did call my mom after the first date, which I tend to always do. I need somebody to like run it back with.
Every date.
Oh, every single one.
Okay,
I'm an insane person.
Okay.
I'm an insane person. Maybe not every single one. There were some that were like, I'm not talking to mom about this one.
Yeah.
Right. But
I just banged her.
Right.
In the Denny's parking lot.
Right.
And then nothing to tell mom about.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell her about those 9 dates
Yeah.
at the Denny's. But
you had 9 at the Denny's.
No,
in
I've
the
never had
lot?
a fucking date at the Denny's. But if I'm having a date at the Denny's, I'm banging her in the parking lot, right? Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
But no, so I don't know. For some reason, it just felt important. For me at the time, I think it was just like I hadn't really been dating for, several months, like intentionally kind of. I mean, I'd broken my leg after being depressed for several months because of winter, last year. And then broke my leg and couldn't do anything that I like to do for 5 months. And I think just because of all that, I wasn't trying to date, and that was okay. That felt fine. When I was ready, she was the first one that I matched with or whatever. So I that's how I felt about it at the time, is like, I just want to do things differently. That's what I was talking about in therapy at the time too, was just like trying to remove some of the pressure on that part of my life because everything else was going so well. And every time I brought that into my life.
Isn't that weird? Maybe all of that stuff happened so you could like fix the rest of your life.
Right.
And not put so much on your relationship.
Oh, totally. Because prior to that breakup, it was always about the relationship. Not that I've been alive that long,
Right.
to have that much
But
experience
you've lived
about
a lot
it.
of life.
Totally. But like,
And you've also processed a lot of shit.
Sure,
Like you've
but
been
at
in
least-
a lot of therapy.
yeah, 8 years of
For
my
a
adult life.
8-year-old tomorrow.
Fuck. That
We're
sucks.
getting older. Dude, we
Older.
graduated high school a decade ago.
Yep. Well, next year, yeah. Well, 6 months or whatever. Fuck, man. That's a long
So like that story you're talking about, the poop in the butthole story.
It's 10 years ago.
It was a decade ago. Yeah.
Over. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I think I needed to get my ass kicked by something like that so that I had to, because it wasn't for lack of trying that I didn't get into a relationship over the last 3 years, but there was always a reason why this wasn't it or whatever. And then this time it felt important to be careful, I guess, or just to chill, right?
Yeah.
Something I've been telling myself
Dude,
since January is to sit on my fucking hands, because that's what I do. That's my pattern is I have a crisis, whether it's self, inflicted or life or both. And then I build, and I fix it. And then I'm on top of the fucking world and I'm kicking ass at a job in my life. And I get fucking bored and I get uncomfortable with that. And I don't want life to do it to me, so I do it, right? Yeah. And it's slow, it's sneaky. It never feels like that in the moment. But in hindsight, it always is that. And then I have something to build again, right? I don't want to fucking do that because I'm never going to build anything long lasting if I keep tearing it down like that. And so I have to
just learn how to pace yourself instead of just running and sprinting to the end. I feel like I'm learning that too.
And I
feel
honest,
like I'm always a few months ahead of you in these things.
I feel like you're further than that.
Oftentimes. Yeah. Like this last one, this that you're talking about, right?
All of
this
it.
stuff right here. Like, I feel like I went through this a little over a year ago.
And going back even further, like bigger things that have happened in our lives, again, it's like kind of simultaneously, they're always like, you're a little bit further ahead, right? And you're cleaning up whenever
you're making the
starting.
Mess. Yeah.
Right. You're cleaning up when I'm making the mess and vice versa. It seems like maybe that's part of the missing each other is like we're not on the same page, like
because we're not there yet.
We're not at the right chapter or whatever.
Yeah, but we can look back on our lives and relate on everything. But then sometimes we miss each other on the beginning.
Too.
Like
it's like if you're a chapter ahead, you're going to be able to, maybe potentially pull me along to this one or whatever. But then I'm going to be, it changes, and then so the dynamic has to switch, right? Yeah, that makes sense to me. But yeah.
Getting into it. I don't know. It's been weird, but it's been cool. You're definitely someone I love the most and hate the most, at times in my life. But it feels like family, and that's probably family,
totally, because you're a person that I have hated, have loved harder than most, and will still like family. Even, there are people in my family that I actively hate. It doesn't often switch, but as soon, like, nobody else gets to say that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's my shit. But it's still like, they're mine, like, you don't get to threaten that.
I think that we're always, like, however further behind we are from each other, we're always eventually willing to grow. And we're always willing to grow together. And sometimes that means space, and sometimes that means growing on my own so I can be a different person in our relationship, right? And then I'm like, hey, I'm ready to be a good, solid person in the relationship again. Sometimes it's just not safe because in the way of like we trigger each other a lot. And sometimes we'll trigger each other so hard, and then we need to take that space and be like, what is this? Why am I being triggered? Why am I reacting this way? What is going on? And then we kind of work through that shit, and then we eventually are like, oh, hey, how's it going? And we're like, oh, good, now, better. Right. It's like we kind of hit each other at these points in our life where we need to change.
Oh, totally.
Like that's when we're the closest, right? Totally. When I feel like I'm the closest to you right before I go through some of the biggest changes I've gone through in my life,
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we take some space and do some things, but I think as we've gotten older, we've learned to just do that with love instead of being like, fuck you, you're not in my life. I'm just like, he'll come back. Like it's fine. He's doing his thing and I'm doing mine, and nothing but love there, and he's going to show it how he can, and I'm going to show it how I can. And it's going to be really intense and really good. And that's it. But I'm really, really grateful for it. For real. Like, there's nothing like it. And it has healed parts of me that nobody else could have, I know we got to wrap up here, so any last words?
I never wrap up.
Hey, y'all have a good night.